Welcome to B Spice. In this session, we'll continue with mastering alarms. In session 9, we'll focus on alarm communication and HMI design. We'll be dealing this in parts, various parts, and this is the first part. Okay, so in first part, we'll talk about the human factors. Okay, see what is this human factors and what is this alarm communication and HMI design? Yes, the alarms are communicated to operators, isn't it? So that an effective response can take place, right? See, basically, the human factors in the sense, the relevance of human factors to alarm management, method of displaying alarms to operators, method of notifying operators that an alarm is active, how to handle non-alarms, including, alerts, prompts, events, and designing an alarm list that support operators situational awareness and also specific requirement for displaying the HMA highly managed. All these we will see in the subsequent session, friends. So in this session we'll limit our discussion to human factors. Okay, so before going into the human factors, I wanted to inform you about some principles. Principles in the sense, alarm system design should be consistent with human capabilities and limitation, isn't it? Right. Then alarm list display should be designed such that repeating alarms do not cause them to become unusable. Okay. Then an integrated design should be developed for all audible and visual indications in a control room. Wherever HMAs have been identified, that is the highly managed alarm, the method used to present them to the operator should make them very obvious and distinguishable from other alarms, isn't it? Because this is important, right? So operator should be able to access a list of alarms that for any reason, that is whether it's a shelled or suppressed, we are going to talk what is shell, how to do that in a later session. So operator should be able to access the list of alarms for any reason or in inactive status. They should have a visibility. So these are the key principles basically, okay, in the alarm communication and HMI design. Now we'll talk about specific to human factors, okay. So, friends, the effectiveness of an alarm system is not only determined by the hardware components, right? So alarm system should be consistent with human capabilities and limitations. So that is what I meant here, human factor. Okay. So the basic design of the alarm system is most important because it ensures operators are not overloaded by unnecessary and nuisance alarms and floods of alarms. Hmm? Okay. So, however, the way the alarms are communicated, the operator via the HMI is also equally important. So that is what I'm talking about human factors. Okay, let's go into the human factor theory in relation to alarm. Okay, as you know, people are fallible. What is this? People are, you know, being wrong, right? That's what I made it fallible. So they, sometimes can be imprecise in their action. They forgot things, misinterpret data, and of course lose attention, right? So these things can result in either errors of omission, meaning they do not notice an alarm when it occurs, or errors of execution, meaning that make a wrong response. You would have seen the previous video, session 8, we talked about the incidents, right? Yes, that is the point. So also, people can choose not to respond to an alarm. The notice of alarm, they notice the alarm, but decide either that no action is required or that normal response is not appropriate. Okay. So on the other hand, people have remarkable capabilities that have a proven difficult, to replicate with even the most sophisticated technology, right? So they are particularly good at recovering visual patterns and noticing very minor changes. Okay. So they can take account of the information from many sources to support situation awareness, allowing them to understand what is happening, even if it is something that they have never encountered before or been trying to handle. Okay. So when an operator notices an alarm has occurred, They will look for data to help them understand what is happening, which highlights the importance of recognizing alarm as part of overall HMI. Okay, so they will be also, considering information given to shift handover, emails, and also the reports received, like, monthly, the previous month, the direct observations, like, sound, vibration, smells, and of course the environment conditions, all these. Okay, so this is what I meant here, human factors theory in relation to alarms. So this is the point, first point I want to share. Okay, so this matters a lot. That is the point. Okay, and then human factors in practice, very important. In simple terms, there are three activities performed by the operator when an alarm occurs. What? First, detect the alarm, right? Yes. Then diagnose its cause, right? Then respond with action to either rectify or counteract the cause or to mitigate the potential consequences. So these are the three activities performed by the operator. Okay. So now, yes. Now we'll go into a different requirement. Requirement means HMI requirement to support operators. So to support the operator, what should be the, the look and feel of the, HMI requirement? So that's what I meant here. Okay, human activity, as I said in the previous slide, he has to detect, he has to diagnose, he has to respond. So for detecting, what should be your HMI requirement? Alarm status clearly indicated to the operator, standing out from all other information presented by the HMI. It should be very clear, isn't it? Then diagnose, how we can diagnose? Yes. HMI requirement. Alarm identification is clear, of course. Information required to determine why it has occurred readily available and easy to interpret correctly. Okay. Then respond. Access to controls required to respond. Okay. Information required to confirm successful response readily available, meaning, clear indication of escalation. Okay. For unsuccessful response. So this is the HMI requirement to support operators. Okay. Then we have another one in human factor. This one we call it as a performance influencing factor, PIF. Okay. Yes, it can also be called as PSF, that is performance shaping factor or performance influencing factor. Okay. So there are many actually. Okay. What are all the performing factors we will see? First is clarity of signs and signal. Okay, meaning clear label will make it easier to identify the alarm and diagnose its cause, isn't it? Right. Then system interface. System interface in the sense presenting data to operators in a way that is consistent with human capabilities. So it will make easier to diagnose the cause of the alarm and monitor the effectiveness of the response. Friends, like, the trend display are consistent with human capabilities of pattern recognition, whereas, numerical data points can quickly overhelp, right? Something like that. Then we have a difficulty and complexity. Spending time during HMI design to simply operator response will increase the likelihood of successful response. So difficulty and complexity we need to take care. Okay, right. Then time available versus time required. Ensuring early detection increases the time available to diagnose and respond. Providing easy information to Providing easy access to information in a useful format reduces the time to require to diagnose and respond, isn't it? Yes. Then workload. The HMI itself should create a minimal workload so that operators' resources can be spent on processes under their control. Then, of course, the competence. Intuitive HMI is far easier to learn and maintain competence with. Okay, so these are the things we need to focus. Can classify as a performance influencing actors while we're talking about the human factor. So all these we should address. Okay, when we take care of the design. Alarm design. Okay. Yes, so that's all I have for this session. But Many more are coming. Many more in the sense, now we talked about display factor. Sorry, a human factor. There is also a display options. Display options in the sense, annunciator panel, how the look and feel should be, and also the alarm list display, and also the graphically embedded alarm objects. All these we are going to talk in the next video. Okay, stay tuned and take care. Thanks again for watching and keep supporting. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.